CFR Network, CFR News. Welcome back. Been a long time. Thought I'd have to revisit this topic or this individual, this entertainer again. Joe Rogan versus Neil Young. N-word compilation, India Irie, The Rock, and multiple other singers and entertainers who have all jumped into this topic of discussion. Now, firstly, if you haven't already, listen to the rise and change of Joe Rogan. That was done probably about 2-3 years ago. And that will give you a little bit of contextuality, because I'm pretty sure this N-word thing was already sort of highlighted then. But for people who this is all pretty fresh and new, and you've only just jumped onto the JRE experience, it's shocking. It's appalling. You know, podcaster and MMA color commentator Joe Rogan obviously does a lot more than that. You know, he's in the firing line now because someone, I guess I've heard a few people say, because it's obviously in America, North America, it's Black History Month, February, shortest month, the calendar, 12-month calendar year. And it's sort of ruffled feathers. I don't, how it's come to surface and whatever. But this isn't new. This isn't like since he's been on Spotify, he's been doing this stuff. This is very old material. Number one. And everyone grows. And trustfully, they learn and they develop, and they get rid of the old man and become a new man, etc., etc. So firstly, we got to get that out of the way. This is statements made a very long time ago. But here's a big juicy but. His apology. I mean, if you watch, I don't think I've watched all of the original podcast in its entirety, but I've watched a majority of them, especially the one when he was talking about the story of him with his friends going to see Planet of the Apes in Philly, etc., etc. If anyone still has, or if it's still available, because I haven't searched for the full podcast, go and check it out. Before you get, you make your decision whether you're going to be outraged or whether it's going to be a case of, that's unacceptable. But if you look at his track record, he's not necessarily using that sort of verbiage these days. But yeah, definitely look at that. Look at the reaction of Red Band, and I think was Diaz there as well, Joey Diaz. But there were, there was definitely some people who were a bit like, "What are you doing, Joe? Like, what are you really going down this sort of this line of comedic quote unquote humor?" And again, let's put the other layer on top of this. This guy is a comedian as well. And comedians do push boundaries in regards to so-called race, ethnicity, religion, and all of the other concepts which are taboo, sex, obviously, and all of those things. So this is what comedians do. So now that foundation is out of the way. You have I don't know, genre, Neil Young country or something like that, maybe. Written open letter saying how, look, based upon Joe Rogan talking all this conspiracy stuff, especially relating to delivery systems and the current zombie apocalypse we've been in. If he's going to stay on your platform, I want to be, I'm coming off, basically. So it's me or him. Interesting. I'm sure BlackRock own a portion of his catalog and stuff. So that's quite interesting there as a side note. So I don't think Spotify, based upon the viewership that Mr. Rogan has, acquiesced. But what they have done is they've taken, depending on what reports, newspaper articles you look at, from 70 episodes have now been removed from Spotify, pardon self, to 113. Now, that covers a little bit about the quote unquote medical misinformation. And look, everyone should be entitled to express their opinions, their thoughts, as long as you're not inciting violence or spewing hatred. Now, questioning things and coming up with alternative ways of doing things, there should be nothing wrong with that at all. We're supposed to be in a quote unquote free world, aren't we? Where the exchange of ideas help to propel society forward. But in this Gregorian year of 2022, that does not happen. You stay in line of the quote unquote mainstream idea of how things are supposed to be done. And if you veer to let's use the terminology, if you veer to the left or if you veer to the right of that, there's an issue and you will be banned, you will be shadow banned, you will be ridiculed, you will be highlighted to be someone who isn't like an extremist maybe, or, or even what's happening to Mr. Rogan, the multi-millionaire. It's tough, I know, it is tough, but we got to look at it. This censorship thing it's getting very pervasive. It's not just affecting these so-called celebrities and stars and people who are, let me look. Mr. Jones was deplatformed. He's been sued. He's real scared at the moment of what's going on. Everyone should be able to express themselves, and that's not being done currently. So, bringing it back to the N-word compilation, which singer India Irie posted on the old Instagram, which obviously lots and lots and lots of other people viewed. And also, just to rewind, that open letter by Neil Young, I think there was about another 12 or 13 other artists who said they would do the same thing if he's going to remain on there, because obviously they're in lockstep with what the mainstream media is pushing in regards to non-medical misinformation. So that says it all there. So India Irie is very, firm in her stance in regards to, look, this is some folly. Like, what we doing? Get this loud Spotify thing and all that stuff. In Joe's apology, as I say, he was trying to be entertaining. It's interesting, especially in the Gregorian year of 2022. That kind of stuff, it's got all this stuff which you think was entertaining back then and all that stuff, and it does rear its ugly head, quote unquote. So we're going to see what happens. Very interesting times we're living in. Obviously, the other element to this is the Rock, Dwayne Johnson got sort of thrown under the bus of sorts, because he made a tweet relating to the medical misinformation and Joe's video about bringing on people from both sides so you can have a balanced sort of conversation about it or whatever. And shortly after that video compilation then came up, and everyone was just like, whoa, the fans, other entertainers were like, wait a minute, we're not about that. What are you doing supporting such lunacy? You've got a huge platform and all this kind of stuff, and so as a result, The Rock has withdrawn the support. So let's see how this all plays out with the old Spotify and with the fake media, the fake news, and all that stupid stuff. Really interesting times we are living in, most definitely.